Kids are dismissed to go downstairs. They have no way. I think they are ready. Well, good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Are you good? Okay. Well, if you are joining us for the first time, I'm going to say this is probably a great Sunday to come on out and visit and to be a part of this, because we're actually starting a new series today, and it's called Chasing Carrots. And you know, I wanted to, before we get into that, I just had to make a confession to everybody. You know, I figured, you know, we're here in the assembly, and this is a good place for us to be honest, amen? Like, this is a place where when we come together, this is a great place for us to just share our concerns and our joys. And so, you know, I look at all of God's creation, and I think, man, there are some animals out there that the Lord has given us and is creating, and I think, man, that is beautiful, right? I mean, there are some birds out there that you're thinking, wow, man, Jesus, you are awesome. Look at that. Look how great that is. But I know that there are some animals that I sit there and I wrestle with. And I'm like, dear Jesus, why did you create rodents? Like, what's the point of this? I just don't get it. I don't like them. I'm not a fan of mice or rats or gerbils or whatever. And I know some of you think, well, they're cute, and you might even have them as pets. I grew up in Brooklyn, and those things are like Satan's scavengers. So we don't collect them or consider them pets. But there's some people, you know, they think, oh, these things are great. And there was one time I had a friend who decided to say, hey, it would be a great idea to show you my new hamster. And so he came out down the stoop to show me this evil-looking thing. And I might have been young enough where my voice was changing, and so high-pitched screeching might have come out of me when I saw this thing and he tried to put it in my hands, and I was like, no, you're not going to give me this. And he said, these are great. And he showed me his hamster. And I thought, I don't know why. Why do you have this as a pet? So let me show you. So he put it in the cage. He said, well, check this out. And the hamster jumped on this wheel and it just kept going. And I thought, okay. And I watched this thing, God's creation, running on this wheel. And it had this piece of food just hanging off it, and it made him run faster. And then he kept chasing this thing over and over. He was just running and running, and then falling, and then running and falling. And I thought, this animal's dumb. What are you doing? Just get off the wheel, go around, and go grab that thing. Like, what are you doing? It's just chasing it. And I couldn't believe the amount of time and energy this hamster was putting to try to reach for this carrot. And I thought, this is ridiculous. What are you doing? This doesn't make sense. Because all you need to do is like get off the thing, but you're trying to go for this thing that you see in front of you that you consider happy, and this animal just keeps going round and round. Do you see where I'm going? Yes. None of us live our lives like a hamster on a wheel. And we see something that we think will give us happiness. And we put in time and energy and force into this, and we're like, if I just keep running a little bit harder, a little bit faster, I'm going to achieve what I really, really want. And you're on a hamster wheel. And you're stuck. That we're chasing after money and perfection, maybe approval or comfort. And we think if I get this, I'm going to be happy. I want you to turn to your neighbor and ask them, what are you chasing? What are you chasing? That's what we're talking about today. We're all chasing something, right? I believe there are some of us who think, when my paycheck is big enough, then I'll be happy. You can be honest and say you thought that.
Amen.
Maybe you thought that if everybody likes me, then I'll be happy. No. Some of us think, well, maybe in my life it's a little simpler. I just want a nice house or a good job or that relationship that I've been striving for and I really want. And then when I get that perfect relationship, I'm just going to say there is no perfect relationship. And then you think you'll be happy. But it's not going to happen. I think some of us were just waiting for that perfect plate of pasta. And then we're like, once I get that, my life is good, right? No. I believe that we all want to be happy in our life. Like there's something inside of us. I don't believe anybody wakes up in the morning and thinks, man, I hope today is horrible. Like, I'm hoping it's just a bad day. I'm hoping like for rain clouds and for my job to be done. Nobody wakes up wanting that, right? You want joy in your life. You want provision. You want to be satisfied. But what do you think will get you there? What are you striving for to get you to that place? And today we're going to look at one specific thing that I think some of you will say, well, that's not me. And I want to propose something. I believe there's some of us who believe if I have fame or I'm famous, then I'll be happy. And I want to propose that won't satisfy you. If you have your Bibles, turn with me to the Gospel of John. We're going to look at a story. And I love Jesus' stories because they speak so deep and true to our spiritual needs. And so if you have your Bibles, John chapter 6, and we'll have it up here on the screen as well. This is starting out with verse 5. And it reads like this. Jesus soon saw a huge crowd. Not a small crowd, not 5 or 6 people, but it was a huge crowd of people coming to look for him. Turning to Philip, he asked, where can we buy bread to feed all these people? He was testing Philip, for he already knew what he was going to do. And Philip replied, well, even if we worked for months, we wouldn't have enough money to feed them. Then Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up and said, there's a young boy here with 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But what good is that for this huge crowd? Tell everyone to sit down, Jesus said. So they all sat down on the grassy slopes. The men alone numbered about 5,000. I just want us to paint this picture for a second in our minds. That Jesus has been preaching, and he's traveling, and he's doing miracles, and now there are people. There are people who see that this man has something for them, that he is providing something for them. There's something about how he speaks that registers to their soul and desires that they have. And there's so many people that they're just waiting, gathering. And the scripture says about at least 5,000 men. And at this time, the women and the children were counted into these numbers so easily. People can say between 8,000 and 10,000 people were there. And they were hungry. I worry about 550 people coming over. I can't imagine. Imagine doing a potluck for 5,000 people. No. That's... And all you've got is a little boy with some bread and fish. And so Jesus puts his disciples into the situation, and we've all heard the story before. Maybe if this is the first time you're reading this is an amazing story because they're sitting there, these people, they're sitting on the slopes, and they're waiting for Jesus, for this man to do something. They're sitting there, they're expecting something great to happen. So, verse 11. Then Jesus took the loaves, gave thanks to God, and distributed them to the people. After he did the same with the fish. And they all ate as much as they wanted. After everyone was full, not scrounging around looking for scraps, after everyone was full, Jesus told his disciples, Now gather the leftovers so that nothing is wasted. This is a good, frugal pastor here, right? Making sure nothing is wasted. Verse 13. So they picked up the pieces and filled 12 baskets with scraps left by the people who had eaten from the 5 barley loaves. This is a passage that I want us to pay attention to. When the people saw him do this miraculous sign, they exclaimed, "Surely he is the prophet that we've been expecting." When Jesus saw that they were ready to force him to be their king, he slipped away into the hills by himself. So Jesus declared early in his ministry that he's come to bring a message, to all people. And part of that, he wants as many people to hear what he has to say. This gospel message, this call that the kingdom of God is at hand, this call that salvation is here. He wants people all over to know of who God is and the love that he has for them. And so you have a huge crowd, and you and I would think, well, this is great. Here's this great crowd. This is what you want, right? You want to be able to share and to get the word out. And so this makes sense. Over 5,000 people were there. They were looking to be provided, and Jesus, he performed this amazing miracle. And so they wanted to make Jesus king. They wanted him to be politically in charge of what's to come. But that's not why Jesus came. Jesus didn't come to sit in the White House. Jesus didn't come to rule and pass laws. Jesus came with a mission from his Father. But he knew that this temptation was very real. This temptation that people would want him to be king, to be in charge. And so he slipped away. I think to many of us, his response doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense to his brothers. His family didn't get what he was doing. You ever say, later on in John chapter 7, it says this. His brother's response to him says, "You can't become famous if you hide like this. If you do such wonderful things, show yourself to the world." For even his brothers didn't believe in him. So his own family said, "Listen, you want to be famous, right? Like, that's what we're trying to do here. We want to, hey, we're your brothers, and so if you become famous, that means we get to feel the effects of this, right? We get to be your entourage. We get to sit back and say, hey, I know this guy, so you need to stop hiding because they all want you. They're ready for you to be in charge. We get to reap the rewards. What are you doing continuing to hide? Why do you keep saying no to being famous?" I believe this is a very real temptation for many of us. That when something good happens, that there's something triggered in our heart and our soul to not just be recognized for it, but to fill us up with pride. This is something that, when I get together with other pastors, we talk about this. That the temptation when God moves and does great things, the temptation for pastors and ministers is to take credit for it, to be like, hey, you see my church? We got 250, we got 300, we got 3,000 people. I'm being honest. And God has to speak to us and remind us that that's not our mission. But it's super easy for us to get focused in receiving the glory instead of focusing on his goodness. Does that make sense? Maybe some of you are thinking, well, in my life, I'm not really desiring to be famous. That's not a big deal to me. That's not something that I go around and I'm not like, hey, I want to be in Hollywood or I want to be a rock star. I mean, they can have that life. Some of you are like, you're waiting for God to have vengeance for those people. Let me just say this. You might not be chasing fame like a celebrity, but do you really understand what it means, what fame actually means? And I want to throw out this definition. It's the state of being known or talked about by many people, especially on account of notable achievements. How many of you like the fact that people talk good about you? How many of you would love to hear somehow the grapevine that your name got brought up at the Massapequa Diner and they're like, man, you know that guy? Yeah, he's a good guy. And there's something inside you that's like, oh, I feel good. They're talking about me. Oh, people know me. People admire me. I mean, even to that degree, that's fame. Who wants to be known? Do you desire to be known? It's okay. It's okay to have that desire. It's in all of us. We want to be seen. We want to be accepted. There are times that it is okay for us to desire to be looked up at because of things that we've done. That sense of accomplishment. For some of us, we don't realize that in some sort of degree we do want to be famous. Maybe not sitting there and because of your voice and you're touring the country, but to some degree, maybe you want your family to recognize you for what you do. Maybe some of you have parents that have always put you down and you're like, can't you just see my value and my worth and who I am? And can't you just talk good about me? I want that. I want people to say that I am a generous person. I want people to understand all that I sacrifice. Can't you see that and recognize that? Don't you know who I am? How many of us have had those thoughts? It's okay. There are plenty of us who sat there and have felt like that. Even today, because of technology and the way the world is now, I mean, social media even opens up this new idea to us for our friends, people that we hardly know, to know us. That we've opened up our lives to others all over the world. And we feel good when people like our pictures or they comment on what's going on and they look up to you. And there's this new phenomenon happening where because of social media, it's like we're not just sharing our lives, but we're making our lives look a lot better than they actually are in real life. Amen? Yeah. It's okay. I'm going to be real. So some of us, we get upset then if it's not recognized, if people don't pay attention to us, if they don't see us. It becomes an issue. Now I want you to hear me. Being famous in and of itself is not wrong. God has called men and women of specific stature, places, and responsibilities to follow Him. There are famous people who love Jesus. I want that to be known. But it's the chasing of fame that can be dangerous to our faith. When we chase it down and we say, that's what I want. If I have that, I'll be happy. If more people know me, they know about me, they know what I eat in the morning, and they're excited about that, then I'll be happy. That's a different conversation. I'm glad you had cereal this morning. It's the chasing of fame that's a problem. Because at the heart of it, it's saying that you want to be like a God. You want to build your own empire, and you want others to recognize the empire that you're building. You want that empire to be seen. And that's something within our culture today. We talk about it a lot, that there are people in certain fields, even celebrities, they're thinking, what I have isn't enough. Just because I can sing doesn't mean I need to just sing. I'm building a legacy. I'm building an empire. So you have guys like Dr. Dre that aren't just singing, but they're going and getting themselves into beats. You understand? You have celebrities like Jessica Alba who says, listen, acting isn't enough for me. I'm building an empire. I want others to recognize me. We all know that Oprah has her own kingdom, right? Yes. Kylie Jenner, LeBron. There's something within our culture that says, listen, just having one bit of fame isn't enough. But we want to build an empire that people know that I have my hands in multiple areas because I want to be seen and remembered and known that I was great. I want you to look at me. And in the Bible, there was one being who said, I want to be seen and known equal to God. And his name was Satan. Listen, when our life is all about building up our own empires, it's easy to forget that we were never, ever intended to be king. Amen? Neither Jay-Z nor Sinatra are king. That's a title left to one, who's called the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. And he showed us what our response should be when all of a sudden the crowds come before you and like, hey, I want to elevate you, I want to make you known, I want you to be in charge, we want to fill you up. We see that our king responded differently, uniquely. His response to people wanting to thrust him into this position, he wasn't focused on chasing that fame down. He was focused on something else. Something more real. Something more deep and powerful. If we're honest and we ask ourselves, that sense of wanting to be known, that thing deep inside of us that we're chasing for, is it for him or is it for us? In James 4:3 it says this, and even if when you ask, you don't get it because your motives are all wrong. You want only what will give you pleasure. There are some of us who want that sense of recognition and fame. And the scripture said, listen, why? Why is that such a big deal to you? Why are you chasing that down? Do you understand that there is this temptation that comes along with fame, that it can move the trajectory of our lives? It moves us away from God. It can move us away from others. And it redirects our attention towards ourselves. That it has the potential to say, you are only going to be focused on yourself when and if you're famous. So if some of you ask God, I want that. I want you to make me famous. You understand? If you make me famous, I promise that church is going to have a big old building attached to it. I promise that I'm going to give money away. I promise I'm going to do good. I just want this in my life. I need this in my life. Lord, and you're sitting there and you're praying, and God is just asking, why? Why do you want this? What's in your heart? Why do you desire this so much? And you think that if you get this, if you achieve this level of fame, that you're going to be happy. I want to point out 3 things about this. Because if we're sitting there saying, you know what, there's times where I wrestle with that. I wrestle with the desire of being liked and admired, and so much so that I want to be known. I want to be known by my community or recognized by my family, or I want to be that one person that everybody talks about in a good way. And if God is saying this is not okay, I want us to look at 3 points. We need to remember that that's not how God works. That God doesn't care about your social status. To him, he decides to use the absurd to teach the wise. God likes paradox. He likes to take something that doesn't make sense and use it to teach others. when you go through the scriptures, you see that Jesus didn't teach line by line, point by point. Jesus didn't give specific instructions. He talked in stories. He wanted us to wrestle it out. He picked people who were the last. He chose a group of men and women to bring a kingdom out that were not even called to be preachers or teachers of the law. Do you understand that? He picked those who were chosen last for a specific reason. He says, I'm not going to build my kingdom on your fame. My kingdom will stand on its own. And I will use even the unwise to teach this world. I mean, that's one of the most beautiful statements that when the disciples were filled with the Holy Spirit and they came out after receiving at Pentecost and they came out preaching and teaching, people were confused because they thought, who are these men? They're not even educated people. They don't know what they're saying, but all of a sudden they're speaking truth and wisdom and there's a power there. And God's like, I want to use that. I don't want to build it off of your own fame. The second point is that we need a heart check. Whose approval matters most to you? Whose approval matters most to you? If you're sitting there saying, I want to be known, I want to be famous, who are you trying to impress? Like, who is it that you're longing for to satisfy? Psychologists say that this deep desire in us to receive fame and notoriety and to be known by others has deep roots in injury and neglect. That those who are looking for it, chasing it down, for some reason inside of you, you feel insignificant and you're broken. And God is saying, there's something deep inside your heart that's off. And I want to bring healing to them. Maybe you felt like you've been rejected by friends, or you have been overlooked. Maybe you sat there and said, listen, I've tried and I have a hard time pleasing my parents. But you know, if I get the recognition that I really, really long for and want, maybe they'll look at me with pride. God wants us to go into those dark places and ask those questions. Why do you want fame? What are you chasing? What's broken? Because we believe in a God that heals, amen? We believe that when these things come up and we see that we're chasing this and we're on a hamster wheel and God is pointing into our heart and saying, why do you want this? Why do you think this will heal you? What's the point of this? God doesn't want to shame you or disgrace you. God wants to bring healing into you and show you that it is time to get off of that wheel, stop chasing this, because only His approval matters most into our lives. We need to understand this last thing is that we need to stop blowing our own horn and start giving glory to God. And let me explain this. It's a beautiful passage. And it comes out of 1 Corinthians 1. And it talks about how God chooses us. It says this, 126. Take a good look, friends, at who you were when you got called into this life. I don't see many of the brightest and the best among you. That's me. Not many influential, not many high society families. Isn't it obvious that God deliberately chose men and women that the culture overlooks and exploits and abuses, chooses these nobodies to expose the hollow pretentiousness of the somebodies? That makes it quite clear that none of you can get by with blowing your own horn before God. Everything that we have, right thinking, right living, a clean slate, a fresh start, all that comes from God by way of Jesus Christ. That's why we have this saying, if you're going to blow a horn, blow a trumpet for God. It's not, amen? And this is the written word of God that leads us to the living word of God. Jesus says, I intentionally picked you, not because of who you were, but to show to this world that's out there, that's not what matters to me. What matters to me is that you know who I am. And I'm going to change and make you, but it's not because of you. But there is something beautiful in you that is changing you. And so if you're going to blow a horn, blow a trumpet for God. If you're going to let people know of the greatness and glory, show the greatness and glory of God. Jesus, when he was being elevated and they wanted him to be king, he rejected that status. Not because he did not deserve to be king, not because he should not be king. He rejected it because he said, I am on a mission from God. And what God says is more important than what the world says. Amen? Jesus himself was declaring that to us. He was saying it's not about what I want, it's about what he wants. And so if I have to say, maybe I'm not to be famous so that he can be made known more famous, then I'll do that. Maybe I'm not supposed to be king. And so in all that I do, I'm going to show you who is the real king. Who is the one? God has not called you and I to be famous. He has called us to be faithful to him. And we need to hold on to that. We need to remember that. God's not going to say one day, hey, well done, good and faithful social media star. He's not going to do that. He's going to say, well done, good and faithful servant. And when we do that, when we truly stop chasing after fame and start chasing after being faithful to God, I will say this, you will experience a happiness that you have no idea. A happiness and a joy that speaks to your soul, and a contentment that says, my life is not about me, but it's about a God who's much more beautiful and holy and loving. And all of a sudden, those things that you thought were important, it radically changes. Jesus showed us that he was more concerned with being faithful to the will of God rather than bowing down to the idea of being famous to mankind. So I challenge us. Are we chasing fame? Are you chasing fame? Do you hold that up to say, if I get this, I'm going to be happy? And if so, let me propose this. I want you to think of somebody in need of encouragement this week. And I want you to be a servant to them. I want you to commit to lifting them up, praying for them, taking care of them, and let the peace of God fill you with all joy and happiness. And then you can really know this is the life that God has called us to be and to have. Amen? Would you pray with me? Father, we want to be men and women who do things the way that you want us to. And Jesus, we look to you as our example. Would we be men and women who say, I want to not chase after fame, but I want to chase after being faithful. I want to be someone who finds happiness and not by others looking at me, but I want to experience joy because others are looking towards you. Lord, would you teach us what that means and what that looks like? God, this week would we find one person that we can serve and pour into. And Lord, we can experience the joy that you have for us. We are your kids, and we love you. We pray these things in God's holy and beautiful name. We take that. Worship, you come up, and we're going to go up the tithes and offerings at this time.
Stand and sing the doxology.